potential draw, or maybe even being 2-0'd out by the boys from the Philippines.
10 seconds
I like
remaining.
the approach of TNC's bans in
5
particular,
seconds remaining.
because I think they were almost certainly watching EG's game and realizing EG realized after game number 1 that Mirana is a key hero for Wings, and it is, I would say, Blink's top 3 heroes, top 3 being Mirana, Invoker, and Alchemist, in no particular order, but
Wings
Invoker and Alchemist
Gaming's
kind of out of
turn
favor,
to
and Mirana
ban.
is all the rage right now, and they will ban out the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, that's an odd thing to take out in the first 2.
What else did they ban out in the other?
Maybe they're worried about illusion-based heroes. In the last
10
game, you're the one that can
seconds
switch
remaining.
monitors and see. Switch screens.
That is unusual.
5 seconds remaining.
It also seems like Wings does not handle Wisp very well. From what I've seen, they have
TNC's
like it's a
turn
first
to
pick
pick.
Wisp, and it's a a hero that hasn't really seen
Wings
too much play
Gaming's
recently,
turn
but
to
they are getting owned by the Wisp.
Oh, okay. Are we actually gonna see the?
TNC's
Look,
turn to pick.
I was thinking about the last game, and I'm just there, and I'm a little.
It was Kunkka. They banned Kunkka.
The Bankunka? Okay. And I was like, I was a little disappointed the Wings didn't properly
10
commit to a
seconds
draw style strat. You kind of have this mid-game hybrid
5 seconds
draw
remaining.
strat with the Medusa Wind Ranger, but it's because the item builds didn't match 3 heroes. But now with a VS and a
Wings
draw, you got a
Gaming's
hell of a
turn
lot
to
of
ban.
aura, you got a saving mechanism for when the draw tries to force the issue a little bit harder.
The Dazzle was actually useless last game after the first 5 minutes. Like
But
he had
that's
good heal
because
bombs.
you picked the Dazzle and then the Axe came.
Yeah, but
So-
even so, like the weave wasn't very useful. Poison touch was
10
not useful.
seconds
The
remaining.
heal was not very useful. Like all these things were just not very useful. I
5
guess a lot of it would be
seconds
because of Axe, because
Yeah.
the heal doesn't do anything.
Like
versus them.
when you pick it up in the first part, you're thinking, I got Poison Touch and I got
Reserve
bonus
time.
damage on a support hero who can zone out. That's kind of like your mindset. You're going to
TNC's
create
turn
space
to
with this.
ban.
And then you go up against an Axe and you're like, well, I will now create no space.
Mhm.
And they got caught out by a combination they would probably very rarely play against, like a recoil Axe. The
Yeah.
combo with a
10
coddle.
seconds
Like that's,
remaining.
and they were coming from random spots. Like it's not like it's the standard place where you
5
put like you
seconds
gank
remaining.
on the top lane and they're in the tree line next to the shop. And you recall into that. You never see the Axe
Reserve
moving.
time.
Observer wards won't help you in that scenario.
That's because that's a
Wings
reason why I think a
Gaming's
lot of the
turn
Chinese
to
teams will
ban.
struggle against TNC because they don't know Jimmy. I think most of the Western scene, and especially the North American players, know that he does strange things like that.
Yes.
And when you can see it coming, you'll prepare a lot more. You'll have heroes sit behind heroes in weird situations. You'll 5-man a lot more. You'll place even
TNC's
stranger
turn
observer
to
wards. And I
ban.
think they went they did one of the steps was just play stranger observer wards, but they weren't prepared for the actual plays that were to come.
Well, we'll see if they can prepare this time. Sorry, like if they 5-manned up, it would have been easier for them. Because then there's no
10
strange,
seconds
weird-ass
remaining.
plays that can be done by TNC. It's just straight, you run at us, we run at
5
you, we'll see
seconds
who comes
remaining.
out on top. Stone Gaze, I suppose Naga Song, whatever. Like, let it go down to
Reserve
team
time.
fight, because Wings have proven today that they do still have like fantastic communication and coordination during team fights. They just have to play to that strength. Right now, TNC with the slider and IO, they're already going to get a lot of good jump. They're going to get a lot of support. Their team fights can also be fairly strong with just the first 2, but we want to see what's going to come up with the rest.
And I expect Roche to be a lot more contested this last game. Prediction was incorrect because Roche was not slain at all.
Yep.
Wings Gaming's
And
turn
now
to
with the
pick.
Slardar and I think as you mentioned before, a more heavy committal to a drow strategy, you may see that big bad guy taken down a little bit sooner. So now who do they want to pair with the drow ranger? I think with the Vengeful Spirit you can actually just blow up the Wisp very, very quickly,
10
especially if you like
seconds
swap into a Gust, which I assume that they have the coordination to pull off.
5 seconds remaining.
I wonder if they're banning the Oracle because they're considering the Huskar also on the way. That
Scar's
Reserve time.
definitely a possibility.
It would be dangerous. The Axe is still in the pool, but the Dazzle was also banned out. So you took out both Dazzle and Oracle, 2 heroes that would have made the Huskar work.
You can Omni it. Or Abba. Both are still pretty decent. They're not as good as Oracle or Dazzle, but they are viable. But they are both melee.
Yeah, and do you really get that much out of it? Like, I'd almost prefer you to have someone like a Nature's Prophet.
Huskar good though here. I think Huskar could definitely Well, TNC could also pick Huskar, although maybe Io not the best defensive hero, but certainly a.
I'd also worry too if you run a Huskar, we could have ourselves like a sub 15-minute game. You get those really early Dragon Lances and just start pushing. Get someone like a Chen, we got like full classic, and get like a minion army push against TNC from wings.
Maybe Troll too.
Troll, okay. DK, well, we are really
TNC's
classic.
turn to pick.
DK and Drow is so good together.
Especially against Slardar. Man, Pycat kept calling him Slurter during ESL Frankfurt. Now I cannot get that out of my head to save my
10
life.
seconds remaining.
He just said it with this like goofy look on his face and just like Slurter.
Was he doing it on purpose?
Yeah, he was. I was like,
Okay.
that is the worst pronunciation, or like, and I just can't get it out of my
Wings
brain now.
Gaming's turn to pick.
Juggernaut won't normally kill off a DK nice and quick. With a VS on the field too, Omni Slash is not really a guaranteed thing.
And the instant stun on DK is very difficult for Juggernaut to deal with.
You at least
10
get the
seconds
coupling of the healing ward and the IO together.
5 seconds.
So that's a
remaining.
nice thing to have.
Even more Roche potential too.
Yeah, that's where my brain was going, but I'm like what are you gonna do with this?
Reserve
Like if we're doing like weird Jimmy things, like do you go level 1 Roshan? Do you pull out Nursa? But running 3 melees against this with no counter push? Yeah. Not the dream.
They could still keep her.
I think that probably came through on the mic. I don't have a mute button on my
I didn't
mic.
hear it.
You didn't?
No.
Okay. Let's pull the muscle.
So let's see what Wings want to do when they want to augment their push. Still could go for. It's all based around armor right now. Armor, physical damage, Roche, power hitting.
Alright, cast down. Oh, they're going for an axe.
TNC's
So they
turn
take
to pick.
TNC's hero away from them. They get their own jump in initiation. It could have come from something like a Batrider, but they decided to go with a little bit more strength in the form of axe.
10 seconds remaining.
Very good hero to deal with the IO and jump him and
5
kill him,
seconds
isolate him
remaining.
immediately. And you're up against 2 melee heroes. Axe is likely going to have a good time in lane. Actually, who am I kidding? He's going to Iron Talon.
Why go lane when you could Iron Talon? Definitely go Iron
Wings
Talon.
Gaming's turn
Timber
to
Saw.
bat.
It's a trip melee lineup again from TNC.
But Timbersaw is great for Dragon Knight and Axe.
Yep.
And decent anti-push.
He's not that fantastic against the Drow Ranger, however.
Yeah, he seems to die very quickly.
Yeah, like, cause you just
10
can't
seconds
easily
remaining.
escape. Like, normally, like, oh, the more you attack me, the better I can get away, but the Drow Ranger
5
just hits like an
seconds
absolute
remaining.
truck. So Timbersaw will have troubles. And Wings, they still have one support open after you pick the Timber.
TNC's
And in this game,
turn to
like,
bat.
my brain instantly goes to the Lion. Mad Drain against the Timber, you get your burst damage magical. Good against Io.
I agree. The only downside to Lion is
10
it doesn't help that much in the
seconds
push.
Yeah.
I think, and they already have
You-
Dragon Knight for this. for
Yeah,
this
you'd have to
level.
have more
5
rotation than
seconds
anything
remaining.
else.
I think they need more damage. They need another core that scales well with Drow Ranger. I guess maybe
Reserve
not.
time.
Dragon Knight's like, he's kind of a half ranged.
Right. You mean you actually want to like push Axe into like a 4 position?
I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, Axe 4, why not? We see it a lot. You know who would be perfect?
It would be perfect.
Marana, but she's banned.
Yes.
For some reason, I think Troll. Troll just like
TNC's turn to pick.
comes to my mind for some reason. I don't know why.
For TNC or
No,
for Wings?
for Wings. I don't know why I keep getting this Troll. I don't think they're gonna. It doesn't fit in their lineup at all.
No. Yeah, I also don't know where you're getting that from.
I don't know.
That feels very
Just
odd.
ignore.
10 seconds
Okay.
remaining.
So we're looking at what?
Well, we should move on. We can get a Wind Ranger.
TNC
That's fine.
support.
5 seconds remaining.
Something to perhaps set up with the IO. Could be a
Reserve
secondary source to
time.
heal.
I
Witch
need-
Doctor seems pretty decent.
They need someone who can keep up with the Slaughter, like jump-wise.
10
Sky
seconds
Rat
Lich
remaining.
would be good too.
Wings
Sky.
Gaming's turn to
They have
pick.
a lot of non-physical damage. They can just like completely shift away from that after pick 3 and after seeing the armor from the Dragon Knight and the Axe. That is a nice combination, although not really
This
the best
is-
heroes to hold them in place.
Yeah, this is a terrible counter push.
10
It is,
seconds
but it is
remaining.
very good at slaying heroes. And that's a
Yes.
way to stop pushes.
That is one way to do it.
5 seconds
Unfortunately,
remaining.
Skywrath and also Aya could just get popped. If that DK gets a Blink Dagger, like Dragon Tail into
Reserve
Breeze
time.
Fire with a little bit of help, like that Skywrath and Aya will not survive.
I'm really surprised that Wings have shied away from the Void in all these games.
True, we haven't really seen Void at all.
Yeah.
Void's appearing in the other games which have been going on.
Yeah.
Even in the first phase, ban and pick.
10 seconds remaining.
Alright, Wings, show me how you can commit to a proper Dro strat. You run
5
two in a row.
seconds remaining.
1 second.
Beast could always be an option. Silencer?
Wait, was that random?
No, definitely not.
It's
Why would it
legit.
be random?
I'm just double checking. I'm just double checking because it was on like the last second.
Oh, I accidentally random the TI. I don't think we'll see too much of that, but there's a lot of
Hey,
spammy spells.
Dude, we had teams which didn't have any bans in a TI game.
Uh,
That was Zenith, I think, who actually did that with Ice when he was playing for them.
you relocate into a global. Timbersaw and Skywrath dealing with the arcane curse. Those heroes spam spells like none other.
Mm-hmm. That's a really nice support pick. It's the last one.
Doesn't augment their push that much, but still has magnificent teamfight control.
Yeah. It's again like Wings, like they
10
don't commit
seconds
with the Dro
remaining.
Ranger to any kind of like
Are you sad about that, Toby?
primary push. In a way, yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
If they could pick like 5 Drow Rangers, you would have been like, they should pick Drow Ranger
No,
number 4
you
and
need
5.
Dry Rangers. You can have too much of a good thing.
Ancient camp stacked.
Okay.
Axe, Drow,
Prepare for
Juggernaut with
battle.
Battle Fury can all take it out, but not very many. I'm going to 0 to 5.
By 30 minutes.
Is Drow going to get HOD or not?
She did in the last game.
I'm going 0 to 5. I don't think it's going to be the same type of game, but I'm not very confident in that.
I'm gonna go 6 to 10, and it's a Battle Fury Jugger, because it's 30 minutes. Like if it was like the 15-minute one, then I would be with you. But it's a 30-minute one.
So my first tower destruction.
It's 8 to 11 or 5 to 8.
Going
I'd
5
say
to 8.
5 to 8. It's a Dro game.
Physical damage again. No crit. Actually, Juggernaut has crit.
It's in one hit.
I'm going with. There's an amp though.
500 to 750. Innocence is now dead, so first blood again. Has to go the way of
30
TNC.
seconds to
Innocence is just hanging around. Oh, guys, finish the job. Finish the job up to the hillside. And who are they? Okay, they wanted that on the Timbersaw. Oh, number of player deaths at game's end. How many do we have in our last one?
This looks like a bloodbath. I'm going to 41 to 55, and I'm not confident. I might even go more. 41 to 55 sounds good. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
The battle
TNC,
begins.
nice start. So they'll get the rune into the IO. Like yeah, she bought up a couple of other things before the start, so he doesn't have a straight bottle on the IO. They're gonna run an IO and Timber mid. Or no, Aya's gonna go down and join the slider on bottom lane. So they run a Skywrath Timber mid, a safe lane Juggernaut who's uncontested. Innocence will make his way up there now, and Axe will start in the jungle with the Iron Talon. So this could be some really good CS coming in for the VS, or at least some experience, so they can share it out. But the lane in the mid's gonna be terrible for a Dragon Knight.
It really is. Blink might need to even ferry over another Salve Innocent, trying to make his way to the middle lane and deal with these pesky supports. Demon wrapping around to their jungle, maybe trying to look for the Axe a little bit. Does have a clarity popped.
I think he realized they need to do something about this Silencer and Dro on bottom. They can't just let the Dro get a free level 6 and the Silencer potentially find some
They're coming
kills early
in.
on. So yep, they rotate around. Ice Eyes is to be the main man. The Crush will be there. There's no Gust. So Ice Eyes is most definitely dead.
Easy kill. Not in a good position for them. They have a Reserve Ward in the back, but no eyes on the left side of the map, and TNC off to a hot start.
Yeah, 2 kills already. Timbers, I would say he's shredding up against the DK. But they bring Innocence now down the bottom lane. So we have tri-lane versus tri-lane. Demon is way too far up. Innocence will get the stun. I don't think Demon realized the VS had come over. And this is a costly kill. Not just because it's a kill going the way of Wings, but every kill is a +2.
Skywrath is actually one of the heroes that really needs that intelligence. And there's a call, but no Stout Shield quite yet on the Axe, and he's also out of reach. And he does have a TP scroll, and will TP out. Will it be quick enough?
Barely.
Oh.
He spun twice on Raven on that initial call. That's what it actually looked like. At that point, he might even find a kill. Innocence with a haste rune, forcing the IO out.
Slardar taking a lot of damage. Last word popped on him, and he's sitting at critical HP. And Blink struggling, as you mentioned, in the mid lane earlier, but now it's evened up 11-10 in CS.
It's a Dragon Knight running bottle with 2 points up in Breathe Fire. Just an easy way to catch up with CS. That IO dropping down very low, but they're underneath the tower. Blink trying to actually kite it out, but it won't last forever. That Whirling Death, it was only a matter of time. Faith coming in close. Innocence as well. Not in range, however, for any kind of call or stun.
Man, they are owning with this whiff, though. He is just so problematic that supports are constantly scouted out by him. He's just healing up at course and enabling them to destroy their lane.
Not on my watch.
He's been involved in every single kill that TNC's got so far. Good movement, and by doing this now, Raven gets a lot of space on the top. 19-15 as far as his last hits and denies go. He's a little bit behind in the CS. Looks like Shadow is preparing himself. I'm wondering if Treads, and I'm wondering if he's just like, you know what, screw it, Midas.
They don't buy Midases typically. The only one that I see is Invoker, which is no surprise there.
A little bit more standard then.
Yeah, they are not Midas gamers.
For the draw, is actually not that bad.
So edgy though.
Oh, Silencer? Is he actually able to solo with that? No, quick salve. Does mean that Slardar burns his salve.
Uh-oh, 2 Ancient Stacks coming out. Uh-oh, that's 4? Oh man, I mega lost that prediction.
They got easy heroes to stack, and it's just if they can clear them.
It's 4 minutes in and they have 4 stacks.
I think you lost, bro.
Now Demon's just suiciding.
I have 6 to 10, but that's like 30 minutes into the game.
How is TNC supposed to take out those stacks though? Like, why would they stack it up 3 times? No one can take it out.
They can't, not unless the Juggernaut gets a Battle Fury.
I think you're more scared of the Axe actually stealing that stack though.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, they should probably be careful about stacking so much.
Even the DK can. Like, once he cracks his level 6.
Yeah. Or
Or
level 11.
Level 11, yeah.
Cuckoo in the middle lane.
Radiant's
Looking to
middle
pressure
tower
Blink
is under
way
attack.
past the T1 tower. Looks like as you mentioned, the bottle. Gonna keep him nice and healthy.
Wings don't want to be involved. Faith is currently farming up. He's got very low life. The Wisp Spirits are going to hit into him.
See, he's
There's
already
only one
stealing the
more,
stats.
and he's looking to turn. He gets the Battle Hunger off with the call as well. He needs a spin. He needs any kind of spin. With the Magic Missile stun, it flies the Wave of Terror too far away.
Wow, that's some bad luck with the spins. Yeah, that's pretty bad luck.
Yeah.
20% chance.
And now
Dire's
Demon
bottom tower is under attack.
fires it off. Just one Arcane, it's not enough. Had to throw the second one over towards Innocence. Can cast the shots off cooldown in 1 second time. Did he keep the vision up? And now she blows. Innocence down behind the tree line. He knew he was gone, but with the Wave of Terror, he prepares for the Dragon Knight. The Io looks to deny him, but does do so to the Samus. Is it going to be a double denial, however? Demon hoping for him, but it won't happen. The DK will find the kill.
See the problem with the Wisp? Like he lures them into a very poor position, and then they can chase him down with a tether. Crazy.
Wings again attacking so quickly into that tower. We had 5 to 8 minutes on the bottom tower destruction. It's already at 343. They've almost reassembled their tri-lane.
Go jungle, Slardar.
Yeah, don't die to Silencer.
Actually, we see a smoke coming in. Y and Blink trying to wrap around with the tail end of the dragon form.
Io response is a little bit too late. Does tether up, however, after Magic Missile. We forced back behind the tower with the Dragon Form and the Breathe Fire. It's still not enough, but it's enough to get our prediction right as with the Dragon Knight and ulti form. They definitely want to bring down that bottom tier 1. Ice. Okay, he's
Bottom tower
Yep.
is under
There's no
attack.
trees there, buddy.
yeah, get out of the tower, get out of aggro range.
Radiant's middle tower
There goes
is
the
under
tower.
attack.
Same time, Timber starts creep skipping out to mid. Ace not certain he really wants to be part of this, but when Cuckoo walks into him, try and call and hold him in position a little bit longer, hoping for some extra support to arrive. Does not. Actually, Cuckoo turns almost. Wow, what's he got? Like, how many?
Radiant's
3
middle
points
tower
up in that
is
whirling
under
death.
attack.
He is doing so much damage right now. Well, Wings not really getting off to the hot start yet again. Their laning phase has been their downfall.
That's. It looks too easy for TNC to do this.
Radiant's top
Like, how
tower
does
is
Wings
under
go
attack.
from like game number 1 against EG, where they're moving around the map, they seem to know exactly where EG is before EG knows where they are.
It's because the Wisp all 4 games versus Wings.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I think Wisp just changes the game completely in terms of the early game and how you can play.
Yeah, see, look, even this moment, like, Shadow's going to TP out to the bottom. This isn't where they were thinking the fight was coming. They thought it was up on top. They radiant scan on top of their own
Radiant's
secret
top
shop.
tower has been denied.
Yep. Still far cry away from that blink dagger on the axe, and they will get scattered out by that observer ward. Ice still struggling to get level 6. Vengeful Spirit only level 3 at the moment, trying to pick up some XP in the middle lane, but Wayne's still struggling to recover and
Radiant's bottom
get
tower
any
is
sort of
under attack.
kills early on. Yeah, Jimmy.
he denied the rune. That's all that was. That's automatic taunt command though.
You never know, Jimmy.
It was one of those things where we always thought Moon was like being a dick, like just taunting. Did he mean that?
Yep, I was watching it.
Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, but we always thought like Moon was being a dick with his Tidehunter and his taunts. But yeah, there's certain things that actually trigger the taunt automatically.
Like fountain camping?
Like I don't know if fountain camping triggers the taunt.
I think he did it in fountain.
Yeah, that's just Moon being a dick then. Denying a rune in front of an enemy player, that triggers taunt. 3-man smoke maneuver from Wings. They're gonna go up, but TNC, they got the numbers. They start with a spin. Omni Slash is available. Where's that chakram? Not gonna happen. Not while the silence is out. And Innocence, well, he just gets brought down the old-fashioned way. Beat him with a stick. A very sharp stick.
They always have the right heroes out in front too. The Juggernaut not gonna die before Blink Dagger, not before Global, and he can easily dodge that stun. And Blink trying to defend this T1 tower in the middle lane.
Curse him up.
Hello, Kitty.
Slow down the tier 1 tower. Goodbye, Kitty.
Kitty's not dead.
Bottom lane TPs. Shadow looking for a cold arrow. Can't get it. And in fact now, because they were TPing down, they don't have the numbers in the mid. Fate's going to try and walk his way into this, but the Omni Slash very easy to kill up that DK. Once again dropping before any real action begins. Keep that curse coming in from Ice, but harassment isn't enough just to force TNC straight out of the lane.
So much sustain coming after them too. Now it's Wisp turn to heal the Juggernaut. It looks like it's T1 will.
Slaughter coming in, amplify up the crush. Ice explodes in a flare of purple. You got the Culling Blade back, so at least they find the Juggernaut, and with the cold arrows and Gust, Io also locked down. They need to keep these cold arrows going. Shadow keeping some really good distance, but now in comes Cuckoo. In comes the damage, but no!
Slams his blade in your
The blade has been
guts.
shattered.
Yeah, bro, it's really hard, especially when you combine that with the Culling Blade.
Dire's middle tower is under
30% attack speed bonus.
Dire's structures are
That's
fortified.
I'll
also-
take that one to hit for 170.
That's the spacing in the fight too from Wings that I was looking for. Like Shadow knowing, don't come in too close, stay clear of the Slardar crush. Then Timbersaw chains himself up, but they just give each other a little bit of space, so Timber's like, I don't know which target I'm even meant to go on.
Yep, and when
Dire's
with
middle
those couple of
tower
chops,
has
Axe will have his Blink Dagger, and now Wings might be able to start playing a little bit more aggressively. They need a smoke if they want to move to that top lane, and looks like there is one on the chicken, and that's exactly where they will be going.
Mm-hmm. Right underneath that Dire Observer Ward, and of course, TNC will be none the wiser. But Raven's already bailing out. They have one Observer Ward, which is over in the Radiant jungle.
They know what's
But
going
beyond
on.
that, like it's just intuition.
They do have the global silence, so this could be a pretty safe play for them. Io's desperately trying to get level 6. He will get it off that Centaur, and now they have the Observer Ward, but it looks like all 5 of them are headed up. 3 are smoked
That
next to
Observer
the
Ward,
Wisp.
that Obs Ward of Wings, it let them know exactly the blink, the call they need to have that IO go down. The Culling Blade is going to find one. The Global Silence, but TNC can't easily come back to it. The spin will go from Raven Demon. Let's go the Mystic Flare. But there's not enough damage from it. Now Cuckoo back to the dire side of the river, jumping on top of Shadow. He does have Gust available. Gonna try and control the Slaughter. Okay, just control him with pure damage. That will also work.
Yeah, those heroes just melted. 3-man call coming out from Faith. That was crazy good, and they're like smoke popped at the same time. And the global silence ensured that no saving was available.
What a great timing for it as well. The fact that Juggernaut, there was no way he could fight. Like, when he was running away from that, he had still 3 seconds left on his cooldown for Omni Slash. So there was no way to turn the damage after spin.
And he doesn't have that much damage to begin with. He has the most CS, but not even a Yasha completed in his inventory, and looks like it will smoke yet again. They know that something is up, though. They have
can they do Roche?
several wards. Yeah, they can.
You got amplification.
Yes, yeah.
You got the healing ward and tether, so yeah.
Amp is good enough.
But TNC. I've seen some teams sneak Roche done already today. This isn't really that much of a sneak, but...
And Shadow has gone for Dragonlance. Much different than the HOD build that we saw last game, and I'm not terribly confident in my number 8 camp stack by 30, but it's looking better now.
I like with the Dragonlance. It just gives me confidence that Wings is ready to push. Like when the BKB is up from the Dragon Knight, that's gonna be great. I want to see where he goes from here. Like you get something like a Dragonlance. I think it was Shadow was doing in the past. You get a Dragonlance, you get a casual Morbid Mask, and then went straight to the axe. It's actually really effective. In this game, I don't know if it will be as effective.
I think he needs the armor, though. I think if you get Mask Madness or Mask of Death, you should definitely go for the HOD this game.
It was a big
gets tied on in mid. He doesn't have the Aegis. His whole team's behind.
Yeah, support the crush perfectly of the Dragon Knight. A lot of one charges, however, repair the damage of the Global Silence is back up. Timbersaw caught with his pants down underneath the Tier 1 tower. The Omni Slash, however, up from Raven. He got it and avoided the gust. Tanks the Aegis. Immortal Cuckoo is back alive. Controlled up by the call. Underneath the Tier 1. Wants jumping up the magic missed off from Innocence. Catching him half timber chain through. The Tier 1 tower will survive. In fact, it's probably just going to get denied up now. But Wings really solid fight underneath their own tower. Share the bottle. They actually leave their Tier 1 tower up on 59, and they're coming straight down the mid.
Oh, that was a quick use of Aegis. He does not have any armor up on the Timbersaw, and that's one of the downsides of having Aegis on him. No reactive.
And now they're going to lose their Tier 2 tower in mid. Too much damage just arriving. Even Ice is helping out with plus 45 with him. Blink Rush getting through. Face gets the call up. Maybe he can control them long enough. Slaughter, where's the Dunk? Is still on cooldown. The spin moving up. Shadow can't get rid of the Juggernaut. Not while the spin is there. Ice will drop as well. And they are on the hunt. Right behind the Dragon Knight. You can come back in for the blink call, look for the spin, but Face gets timber chained up and then whirling death down.
Dieback for Silencer, not that it's very important in this game, and they have slain those cores multiple times over.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And now, T1 tower, easy kill for Cuckoo.
He just waits for it.
Middle tower has
Comboing the Slaughter is done pretty well. Axe is trying to respond as quickly as he can with the blink calls, but most of the spells have already come out, and the initial volley have...
I like this item as well, coming in from the Juggernaut. Once he completes up this mana style, the Silencer is going to be a lot less of a threat. Same with the Drow Ranger, with Gust timing.
They do have a Veil up on the Skyrat too, man. He's very farmed. It's very scary. Like, they are... Like...
Is it that much? The swing hasn't been that much, but maybe that also just shows like how little the other cores have that Demons managed to pick up.
I think having Veil at this point in the game is very significant. Like it's going to do a lot of damage too. Like that's the best way to take on the Dragon Knight and the Axes with magic damage or pure damage.
You amplify, you bail. It's like, well, what can protect me? Absolutely nothing. Protect me, Cone.
Swap.
Oh, Invislada, amplify, and here it is. It's the exact combination. It's not enough to get the kill, but they force out a global silence from the silencer. 2 minutes on cooldown, but on the bottom lane, stuns over from the Juggernaut. He has Omni Slash. Oh, the Culling Blade. Axe knew he had to give us some kind of a crack.
And he was not quite level 11 yet. Maybe he just needed that tome, although it wasn't available to him, and desperately wishing that he had held on just maybe a second longer to that Culling Blade.
Might have hoped he also got a couple more spins. That entire creep wave was attacking him for a while, and I think he spun once.
The stun came out too early from the Vengeful Spirit. I don't think they timed that very well.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Not the greatest chaining, but still, Wings adding a lot of pressure to the side lanes. Timbersaw going to jump into the mid. Gets silenced up, chains himself away.
Dire's top tower
But
is under
Shadow
attack.
doing his job pushing out the top. He's also now building into a Manta. So one way to break free of the attacks coming in from TNC.
And there
Or at
will be a
least the effects.
BKB rush from Dragon Knight. Feeling that he needs it to deal with the Veil, the Mystic Flare, Timbersaw damage especially, and it can Dispel Amp. Just really want to survive in these fights. TNC hanging around the Roshan pit, I'm not exactly sure why.
I was thinking it could be for an ancient stack.
Dire's top tower
just for the
is
runes,
under
I guess.
attack.
But they were near the ancient stack, but never did it.
They don't have anyone that can
It's
do
just a prep for bottom lane by the looks of it. So a tier 2 tower to be the attack. Dragon Knight will slow down the wave that's coming, but there's 5 heroes from TNC on their way. That's his BKB. It's now on the courier. Relocate, they go in behind. Blink, Crush, Omni Slash. DK dropping very, very quickly. The Eye, however, caught in a very deep. Just pushing back Cuckoo. As well as Raven already triggered his mana silence, so he can't break free of the silence. But Cuckoo, coming on down, just the Blink Crush. The call from space, gonna create some space. Culling Blade number 1, too early on the second. Cuckoo will be able to deny himself with that fresh Bloodstone of his. The TNC have lost 3. The Blink's off cooldown. Look at your target. It's gonna be Demon. That'll be a 4th hero down for TNC. 5th being Raven, capable of escaping. Tier 2 tower will be protected.
Man, Faith's calls have been like really fast and very precise too. He like did immediately after the blink stun coming out from the slaughter, and it just took them way
Radiant's
too long
bottom
to
tower is under
burst
attack.
down after the initial spells onto the Dragon Knight. And I think with that fight, Wings are like pretty happy moving into the mid game. They got that Roche taken out from under them. They've lost a lot of heroes, but now they have the BKB, and now they like want a pretty decent fight for them, and they'll be in a fairly good fighting shape for the next few minutes. And Raven, he sees that ancient stack, he's like, yeah, I can't.
If only I had a Battle
Radiant's
Fury.
top tower is under attack.
Oh, Wire. That's some more damage than he really intended to take.
The more damage he can heal.
In a way, true. In a way, also easier to pick off. I really wish we were capable of seeing who has lost the intelligence. Because 16 stolen intelligence on Eyesight, he stayed alive through these last fights. And he stole 16 intelligence in 20 minutes, after he basically stole 2 intelligence in the space of 12.
You can't tell? Don't you have every hero starting in intelligence growth memorized?
I'm sorry, I'm not Melini.
I definitely do not have that memorized. It's more of a feel. You're like, what? I don't have enough mana to cast my spells?
It's like, I'm looking at the slot, I'm like, is 350 even right for him? It probably shouldn't be.
It's all thrown off too because of the intel or the base mana buff. Then it's not as big of a deal as before. And Faith looks like he was going for a blind call. Demon's like, they have a ward over here.
Oh, they just found the Ancients. Okay, well, that's a lot of money to go into the DK.
Yeah, this is why I don't understand why they stack for them.
Yeah.
Like, you can stack, but like there should be better things to do with your time aside from getting
it's
the
like-
opponent's gold.
We're in the neighborhood baseball stack. You take it? Yeah, I'm gonna go Battle Fury. What have I got? Mana Star. Aww.
He needs the Manta though.
Yeah.
I agree with that choice.
He needed the Manta, and now he's also got the Blink. So maybe he could actually Blink initiate before the Silencer is capable of getting his global
a
Silencer.
smoke from behind. Look at Y's position. He he dropped an observer ward. Now they have to know that
Dire's
something
bottom
is
tower is
awry.
under
There's
attack.
no one behind that tower, and they want to defend this.
Shadow, they actually see Shadow, but Shadow's going to see them perfectly. Blink, jump in, there's your call, try and save him. Shadow, is he going to survive through this? They already get 1-for-1 trade-off. As the Global Suns were up innocent, he's got the movement speed, but it's still not enough to get away from Raven. Put down the healing ward, increase that sustain. Demon is going to need it if he's going to survive to this. 3 gone, and they're chasing harder. Eyesight down, a triple kill for Cuckoo. And will it be an ultra? Yeah, it will be. Slicing the Dragon Knight in 2. I would say it's with a bread knife,
Wow, Vengeful
but it's with a
Spirit.
very sharp knife.
Dire's
swapped the
top
wrong
tower
hero.
is under attack.
I think he wanted to swap Shadow out. I think he swapped one of those melee heroes out that had jumped onto him. And then Shadow died, and then everyone just felt like bowling pins.
And Shadow needed to survive. Look at his build. He went for an SMY to go with it. It's
Good HP, good damage.
I don't deny that.
But
It's really great for a fight like that to win it, but when you're going to get
Radiant's
initiated
bottom
like that,
tower
yeah,
is under
not so
attack.
great.
they were not expecting it from the left side. I mean,
But they had an obs ward for it.
yeah, but you expect the smoke at that when you don't see. Look at that right side of the T2. Like the area's cleared out. They dropped an observer ward. That's where Vengeful Spirit was. So they don't see anyone behind the tower, and they don't have vision on the left side. Like they have no one there to pop the smoke.
Yeah,
So-
apart from the one hero who was right here.
But by that time, they had placed a ward, like they had already lost
Yeah.
the fight.
Yeah.
Unless that swap had come out. Swap into Global actually would have been able to salvage that fight for them, but with the swap of the wrong hero, no chance.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he swapped the wrong hero, or wanted to swap the Draw Ranger. Because
Sorry, we're early on stream too. You can't have an instant replay.
yeah, well, I know that he did swap the Draw Ranger. I'm just wondering whether or not he actually wanted to swap it. I highly doubt it.
All right, so TNC. Wings are going to group up again. They still have their BKBs. 9-second one over on the Dragon Knight. As well as having every ulti off cooldown. The Observer wards are also still down. TNC probably doesn't realize this thing is here. After they got such a good initiation, you're not going to think there's a water tank cliff side.
Yep, so now they really want to go in the mid.
Swap, they find Cuckoo. Quick burst, quick kill. Too early on the Culling Blade once again. But it's still going to have the same result. Tier 2 tower now down the mid. Bloodstone charges get reduced for Timbersaw.
Yeah, now all 4 the Dire Roast control
Dire's
towers
middle
are
tower
down.
has fallen.
And now with the Shadow Blade on Dragon Knight, they can even open up the map up even more. And this is especially important because of
Radiant's bottom tower
the way
is
they
under
need to kill the
attack.
Juggernaut. You have to stun him before the Blade Fury, and then chain stuns after that. The Blink Axe is fairly unreliable. The Magic Missile is just super unreliable. Gust without a Blink or a Shadow Blade is just not going to happen. So he is their anti-split pusher.
TNC again, moving over near Roshan. Wings are very ready for this. The Observer wards are up, but now they're actually starting to counter ward it. So they realize the Obs ward saw them move over. The TNC have to play defensive.
They do have the invisibility rune up on the Slardar. They do have a sentry ward, able to scout him out if he peeks into the river, and he will not be scouted out. And I hear the Hello Kitty.
Yeah, it's inside the pit with the amplification up too. They leave the Chakram there. But Innocence, he can wave terror in. He'll hit 3 heroes if he does it. But it's the Dragon Knight slipping in underneath the cover of Shadowblade. Stuns over on the Io. The Global Suns is there too. Io's already gone down. The call from Faith made it so both Raven as well as the Slavas just could not reply to it. Even Timber dying as he's walking his way into the pit. TNT, this is the ultimate disaster around the Roshan. Roshan still also being killed off by the rest of Wings. And that is going to be Aegis Immortal into the hands of the Dro.
Wow, the Shadow Blade winning the fight so hard for Wings right there. TNC did not see it coming. They had sentry wards to the north side, but just did not see him slip in and just pop that wisp in. With a global silence, the healing ward taken down immediately. That was an easy fight for Wings to take when they have superior positioning and vision.
Look at the small gap as well. After this little battle between, okay, Demon, you'll get the kill on Ice. This sentry ward, the DK walked into here. He walked into the pit and was able to see what was going on, and then slipped himself back out. But it was the Timbersaw as well. Like, Timber couldn't even chain down. The tree got taken out early. He walked himself to the pit and then just got bursted.
He needs a better way, I'd say, than the Yules to deal with the silences. Maybe he can't get Greaves, so I guess Lotus Orb.
Yules
Very nice.
Yules was the cheapest way he could do it. Motorsaw would have been nice to counter negative armor.
Mm-hmm. I actually don't think Grease is that
Top
bad
tower
because I
is
think
under
he
attack.
does need the armor, and reactive is not enough when you're versus Vengeful and Drow. Crimson would be nice. They had a Crimson last game, but I don't know who would build it this game. I think it'd have to be Timber. Actually, Slaughter could build it, but looks like he
Dire's top tower
will
has
be the
fallen.
Gem Bear. He's actually slowed down a lot in his farm. He was doing quite well, but now it looks like Demon has overtaken him.
It's death after
Season
death,
3.
man. Like
Yep.
he's 169 on that Slaughter. There's just no way to hold the gold.
He does not have enough armor.
But the only one who's really like light years in there is Raven. It's this juggernaut. Blink, Manta, Diffusal Blade. He's gonna start like removing silence from his entire team.
He should. I think he needs to cast on the Timbersaw so that Timbersaw can do something. He sat in the guts for so long. Ooh, Eagle Song already on Drow Ranger. A lot of damage for her and her teammates.
What's that buff up now? So the buff up at the moment is by 68 on the precision aura.
Looks like 76 to me.
Did it just go up again? 76 now. It was definitely 68 when I read it.
He just hit 16.
Hmm?
He just hit 16.
Ah, that'll be the reason why it popped up. Bottom lane, initiation. Heads up, all the swap, it gets Ice Ice away. Sliders keep running, the stun's gonna be there too. Now the global silence, the Culling Blade. Ice Ice will survive through this. The gem is on the deck. Demon wants to be involved now. The Timbersaw, Yorsep are up and towards the air. Ice Ice still on the run out of here. And with a chain forward, can they control up Cuckoo? He's right on top of Shadow. You can put down the Veil. The kick freaking through. That DK Raven finally doing some work. And Shadow, the distance is closed on him. Aegis the Immortal will trigger. Ice Ice still trying to slow down the backline support. Space has to jump in here. He has to do something. Shadow needs some space to work with the Yorsceptor up. Easy whirling death kill. Timber chain through for another. Silencer was able to pick up Io on the backlines. Another quick silence and just keep running, bro.
I don't know if he's going to be safe though. Cuckoo is scouting him out. Ice Ice walks into the creep wave. He does have a...
Oh! 4 stars up. Support's here. In the form of Innocence with a swap. So Cuckoo jumps forward. Curse him, silence him.
Oh, they're going to get the gem back.
That's quite possible. If Cuckoo goes down, the swap too early. The glaive will fly out, but it's not enough damage.
Oh.
Cuckoo gets out. Premature swap from Innocence will give Cuckoo a life, and in fact, it's going to take Innocence from him as Sam gets back to the front lines.
Radiant's bottom
That
tower
Yorsceptor
has
also
fallen.
dispelled the arcane curse that had a very long duration on him.
Ooh, Yul's good choice, huh?
Heals, great choice. Or anything that dispels.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going for maybe Shiva's. Could be Lotus. But armor nonetheless.
So once again, Wings. A great fight, a huge fight for them. The swing of the craft just dragged it almost back up to 0 for the experience. They had the advantage in the gold, but TNC,
Radiant's
some good
middle
pickups
tower
at the
is under
end.
attack.
Some critical surviving.
Cuckoo did so much damage in that fight. And that's what happens when you leave a timber shot on chest.
Demon! Demon! Pick it out. An observer ward on the hillside, but it was the range creep that came over and attacked him.
Oh, I got that right. There were 4 stacks in 4 minutes. Thanks, guys.
There was definitely more than 4 stacks. I think that thing bugged out.
No,
man.
they didn't stack. None of them took it out. Remember, it was a 3 stack, and like no one took it out for like 20 minutes.
On the Radiant and the Dire side, they both
Yeah.
they both had trip stacks. That's
If it's 3 stacked, that means it's only stacked twice. Don't be angry, Toby.
Ice Ice. Ooh, what's up? Someone get his man away from here. Omni Slash. Okay, it's a very quick tilt. Bounces down towards the axe. The double crush! Shadow and Innocence! Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy! Fate's in trouble as well. The chain maybe a little bit too far off to the side, but it's the crush over on the Dragon Knight with the amplification. He's in trouble. Blink, there's no way to get home. There's no way to get free. Cuckoo's still hunting down Fate inside the fountain area practically. 5 heroes gone for Wings. TNC, they're staring down the barrel of a mid-rank at the moment, and a huge advantage in game number 2.
The vision game has just been superb for TNC. They always get the jump, and this Juggernaut is just an absolute beast, running rampant in every single one of these fights.
It's all going horribly wrong for Wings. And they need something to work here. TNC will keep going. Healing Ward will time out. They've lost a lot of the sustain. There's still another 22 seconds before Wings are back at full strength. Innocent swapping in the Slaughter. And looking for more, but remember, TNC, you're here for Rax. Global Silence being expended before Wings is really ready to fight. The drone might be up, but they need a silence, need a slow Cuckoo. Oh wait, I think he actually heals himself there so he can still Timber Chain out.
He had Arcane Curse, I think.
I just saw it the same, like he threw the chain out, Yule stepped it up, and then the chain dragged him. It works the same way as like Hook anyway. Like, you're gonna reposition. It's just like that safe way to make sure you get yourself out. I just
Radiant's top tower
like
is under attack.
That's gonna be melee racks for TNC.
Dude, they melted like flies right there. Silencer got caught out in a bad position. They didn't have Global to follow up, and that 2-man stun from Sam.
I almost like I'm wondering if Wings now just need a 5-man group.
I don't really think they have that many options available to them. They have to win at least one team fight before they can get back in this game, and I think it has to be the next one.
Can they siege high ground though?
No. What? I mean,
that's the only thing I'm thinking. Like if you get better vision, at least TNC is going to come into your firing zone.
They need time. They need time to get an Aegis, I would say. Like they need to win a team fight and then
Aegis on Shadow, so then he can like slowly chip. Yeah.
And then you can start thinking about them actually getting back in the game. But if they lose one more team fight, I think it's game over. Especially if they get 5-0. If it's like 4-3, then maybe, but 5-0 is almost certainly GG.
TNC's on their way. 4-man smoke, they're headed north. And they scan and they instantly hit Shadow.
They don't have a mobility item on the Drow. She has a lot of move speed, but she can't actually escape if she gets jumped on by the Slardar. Yeah. Or if Juggernaut blinks on them, and TNC looking to put the finishing blow on the Wings right here.
They're reaching around the back of Wings, and Faith already going to TP out. They're like, well, screw that. They don't see this, they just don't find Wings straight away, so Cuckoo hacking towards the mid lane.
They have relocate though. He has to be a little bit careful on this top lane as they're showing themselves right now. Okay, he just cursed a wave.
And he's away.
If he shows, I think he just dies.
Silence has almost got his own Yule Scepter.
Will be useful. Somewhat. He can get defused off during the Omni Slash. It's a very big issue for him. And now it looks like Roshan will be started off. Already the Lincoln's popped, Amplify coming out, and Wings do not have that much time to respond to this. Oh, they are actually not.
They need to work out it's also happening. The Observer Ward inside their own jungle would flag a little bit.
I'm surprised they didn't just go for the Roach right there. BOT coming out on Timbersaw, looking to maybe get their lanes all pushed out in a comfortable position. I think that TNC, I guess they have a sizable goal, at least 7,500, but not enough to just brute force the 5-on-5 inside the pit.
Got a fresh Hyperstone coming in for Blink, so buyback be damned. All he wants to do is just have as many items as he can to win the fight. As you said, like if they lose the next fight, it's over anyway.
And if DK dies, it's not a big it's not a big deal if he doesn't have buyback because you don't have Dragon, and then you don't have Drow Aura.
All right, now TNC are finally going to go in for Roshan.
I think they have to stop this, but by the way they're positioned and with Amplify up, it is far too late.
Yeah, they're
too late.
They're still trying to deal with the top lane. Damage on Roshan is just so high. With a fresh Skadi with 1,800 gold over on the Juggernaut.
Their play has not been that crisp. I thought Drow was one of their biggest strengths, but it seems like playing against the Wisp is one of their biggest weaknesses. If they lose this, they'll be 1-3 versus the Wisp.
I don't even know if I really want to put it down to the Dro. Like, the Dro's still done her job. The problem is, everyone else isn't doing the same job.
I think they've just lost so many fights early with the Wisp. Like, it might have to start being first ban material for them. Actually, they play it, don't they? I believe they do.
They relocate coming up north. They're going up. It's going to be Faith pulled out of position. The Yule Scepter up from the Axe. They'll buy him a fraction of a second longer to live. And that's going to be all. So Axe is down, no buyback, a 1-minute window. and that's with a fresh Aegis the Immortal and cheese. Cuckoo's walking around with the cheese. The Aegis is in the hands of the Juggernaut.
Juggernaut's way too big. He was neck and neck with the Drow Ranger. Now he's like 6,000 gold ahead and can easily just blink on top of her, sacrifice his life for hers, or his Aegis for her life, and kind of go from there. The axe, as you mentioned, in the grave for 30 more seconds with buyback at the ready, but I don't think they can win this fight. Something miraculous has to be pulled off, like the perfect global silence, the perfect call on 3 or 4 heroes possibly, but it's looking grim.
They need a dream right now, Wings, if they don't want to lose this 2-0. Battling in the tier 4 towers already. Silencer just gets disintegrated. They'll swap Slaughter back into tier 4 towers and say goodbye to the gem. Fortification will buy a little bit of space here for Wings. 4 seconds until the axe is up. Shadow again being initiated on. They get the stun on Cuckoo. He's got the cheese to Barwell plus. Oh, not a plus zone chance. So they get the stun. Can they get the Culling Blade off? A little too early, but a kill is a kill. The Racks remain alive. Bottom lane, however, is also being attacked. Mid lane's being attacked. The double buybacks come out from TNC. Dragon Form's only got half a duration left. Aya's about to relocate back over. Cuckoo throwing out that chakram, keeping the DK back. Innocence has swap up in 5 seconds time. And now Blink Axe, they're going to use this initiation. Looking for the kill on the Juggernaut. Remember, he's still got Aegis the Immortal. Blink Crush. Shadow again being initiated on by the Slaughter, but the Dragon Tail stun. Slaughter's dying too quickly. TNC, they're losing too many heroes. The only slash down. Dragon Knight will have to take it for the team. This Dragon Form was wearing it anyway. He gave the best he could for his team, and Cuckoo chaining himself in. He's got the cheese, he's got the life, and now that's been ripped from him like blood. They are able to bring him down. Eyesight's looking for more. They're after the IO. Ghost Scepter buying more time. So is Global Silence. No ability to get himself out of this one. TNC, the bottom ranks is still intact. The range is still up in the mid. They lost the melee on the top, but they defend against TNC's push with a buyback from a DK at their primary expense.
I wouldn't say that was a miracle, but it was very much better than expected. And on top of that, they had the Timbersaw buyback. They also had the Slardar buyback. And yeah, only losing a melee racks for the Aegis and cheese defense, that was as good as I think it's going to get for them.
Yeah.
The Drow Ranger was able to
She got
do
space.
a lot of her damage. Yeah, she got space, and they had the defensive swap on her too, which really helped a lot versus the Juggernaut Omni Slash. But maybe looking for a clean kill over here with the invisibility rune on the Juggernaut, but he will not find it.
It's one of those things where maybe you also then look at the position of the fight. Like the fact that Slaughter was fighting around primarily in this box up against the Drow Ranger, the rest of them were all up here. Like everybody else was just away, so there was no real effect from Demon in that fight either, because he just couldn't join the rest of his team. The Axe was creating a buffer when he came back up. The Slaughter would jump in with sprint turned on underneath 2 tier 4 towers. Maybe also not the greatest plan.
Not the greatest plan.
And this gives the Wings some breathing room. They were 12,000 net worth behind, 16k in the experience, and now they're the ones looking for some kind of opening. Keep this advantage rolling.
They need to kill the Juggernaut, but he has buyback, and they can easily relocate him back into the fight, so he won't be permanently dead for quite some time. And all these Ghost Scepters are also a problem. We see one on the Slardar, one on the Io, and one on the Skyrath Mage, and no defusals in sight, nor really any magic damage.
Now it's almost like they just wait it out with TNC. You've got a Silver Edge now over on the Dragon Knight, so he's still able to break that Timbersaw, maybe, and then you get the crit from Shadow. This damage output from the Drow, she's only going to need maybe 2 seconds to kill off most of these heroes from TNC.
Still, they can top of her, and I think that Juggernaut's looking to blink Omni and keep her controlled with the bashes. And
but that's where Ice and I think also Innocence really stepped up their game in just the last like 5-10 minutes. Like the swaps were always in the right spots. You stun so he could walk away. They then chain off with the Gust, and then you've got also the Force Staff and the Yule Scepter from Silencer. You keep creating the space around anyone that jumps on him. And that's it, you're just going to keep the Drow alive. DK becomes your frontline tank. If Axe gets a good call off, then DK combines with him. You don't commit too heavily.
Yeah, they really do need the Drow to stay alive. If she dies in the fight, I guess she has buyback. But
I'm wondering if she even holds on to it. Like, you pick up the Demon Edge right now and just finish up the full Daedalus.
Because if you buy back, your DK's outputting a lot more damage. So is your Vengeful Spirit. Even like she is for a respectful 279.
It's not too shabby.
Drow's eyeing that 400 territory at the moment. We see
just wait till she walks in range of the VS. So 249, then in range of the VS 250. So yeah, she hits 500.
Trying to sweep the enemy jungle, control that area of the map, maybe looking for the Aegis and Cheese for themselves. One more mistake and it's game over for Wings.
TNC are just hovering inside their base. They're not giving any kind of opening for Wings.
Except for Jimmy.
And yes, there's always a rogue Jimmy. This is his tied spot.
Oh,
he's not close enough. He needs to run closer on the tree line. They're checking the southern tree line. Considering how far the creep wave is pushed out, it's understandable they went where they went. They don't find anybody. They're all coming back. And now with the reveal, TNC group up as fall back in their base.
They have weathered the smoke.
Are there many more left for Wings? Let me have a quick check. So nothing in stock for 4.5 minutes. And they got no smokes on the heroes.
And now Wings need to push out their lanes, and still a couple minutes before the Roshan is going to respawn. Actually 30 seconds at the minimum, but top lane is under the threat of very strong melee creeps. Mid lane under the threat of strong melee creeps and range. And Wings, I still think it's only one more chance, one more mistake really.
You're right about the Drone Ranger holding onto a buyback for now. She bought the recipe, the Daedalus recipe. I think DK's being a little bit less cautious with his. He's got a chainmail as well as an assault cuirass sitting in his inventory at the moment, so he really wants to finish up that AC. While Innocence and Faith laying silently.
So it's a short respawn of Roshan. It's like just
over a minute.
Just under a minute.
Yeah, should be 40 seconds till it comes up now. And say hello to another IO Greaves completed.
Yeah, all these Ghost Scepters, no diffusals, no magic damage. I fear for Wings and their ability to actually kill anyone in these team fights, and they smoke up right before Roshan is going to respawn. Who will they catch?
And they're coming for a kill, and the line's been drawn to go through the top lane. Should also flag the fact that Shadow just bought up his Daedalus. And
he does.
He's 900 short of buyback. This is the danger zone.
Yeah, he dies. It's game over.
Yep. And Wings are on the wrong side of the map. Finally, they're gonna bring Faith as well as Innocence back. They both have TP scrolls.
They catch a glimpse of Shadow. This could be it. They see him with the Observer Ward. They're gonna jump him.
Oh, he's just back. There it is. Blink crunch on. No buyback. And that could be the game right there. They needed a break.
That's the second time that's happened to him. When he played the Spark too, he also had that death without a buyback.
Yeah, and now we actually go to the same position where he died in that Slark in the previous games. Innocence is the one this time to be called out. He has no buyback, and they're just going ham. TNC are just like, wait. Why don't they have the Pro Ranger back up again? Can we just catch him without buyback? The dream is a reality right now for the Filipinos. Keep pushing, force the Megas, Omni Slash now over on the Dragon Knight with the Mystic Flare. Say goodbye, this game is over, Wings has lost it. 2-0 going the way of TNC. I say Wings have lost it, but really, TNC deserved this. They played terrific Dota this series.
I'm very impressed with their support and their overall draft. 2 Drought gains versus 2 Wisp gains, and other teams need to take note. Wisp could be their Achilles heel.
It really could be. Wings? Struggling here on day 1 of the International 6 group stages, but there's still a lot of games to play. That's only 2 games, and every team will play 7 series in total. So best of luck to TNC in the future. Of course, we're going to jump ourselves over to stream 3 now, because we just play musical chairs today.